I am making a 2D space game and I'd love to take you on for the journey. You're gonna have to use your imagination a little bit. This is a rocket and I'm now thrusting to leave this planet. We have a bunch of other objects orbiting this planet. I'm gonna try to orbit one of those and then maybe even land on it. Let's turn off the gravity rotation and let's speed up time a bit. Make sure we don't collide with anything, because then we're toast. Oh, let's go for this planet right there. It's perfect. Yeah, so this is a bit later in the development process. After this clip, I'm gonna show you some earlier development clips, and like I said, take you on for the journey. Ooh, oh, we need to go out. Oh, almost landing right away. Okay, and we need to retrograde. Oh God. There we go, radial in, and then some prograde. Beautiful. All right. We're now in a stable orbit around this planet. We can click on this one to see all the orbits. But let's go back, and we can speed up time here. Let's hope no planet smashes into us. Ah, this is so cool to see. And now, what do you say we try to land on this bad boy? Retrograde, cancel horizontal velocity, gravity camera on. Let gravity take us. A nice suicide burn. Oh, that was beautiful. All right, and now we're perfectly stable on that planet. You're gonna see, I've gone through some iterations to get this working, but this is now perfectly stable there, sitting on the surface of the planet. Really cool stuff. So I've had this one problem where a rocket is standing on the surface of a planet, and then it just keeps accelerating that planet because the gravity is pulling it down and there's no counter force. And I wasn't sure how to solve this, but it's because of my simplified gravity model. But now I believe I have. So I've set up this simple scene. We got the camera fixed on 0, 0. And let me speed this up, and you're gonna see that the rocket accelerates the planet down. But now I've managed to implement a post-collide hook that looks to see if it's the parent, and then we apply the reverse force to the parent. And lo and behold, speed it up, it's perfectly stable. This is so nice. But if I fly the rocket now and I collide it there, that's not gonna have any effect either. So I'm gonna need a way to filter out what's gravity and what's like additional force, I think, because this should be able to change the trajectory of the body. But yeah, but this is really nice progress. So now, for example, let me show you this scene. Now we have the rocket standing on this tiny planet. We are now visualizing the orbit here, by the way, with this nice donut shape. We can see it's perfectly stable, perfectly circular. That's orbiting this. Oh, yeah, I ended it there. Oh, yeah, so cool. All right, so this is really nice. So now, when this rocket is resting on this planet, we can see the yellow spot is the origin. That's 0, 0 in the simulation. When I change the active shape, I update the origin so it stays, so it recenters everything to the active shape. But here we can see if we go up using the thruster and then we land on the planet, didn't seem like much, right? But if we now speed up time, we can see that that impact had an effect. Now it's leaving the origin. So I'm actually, when this rocket is colliding and it's resting here on the surface, I'm instead of applying the inverted impulse to the parent body, like the planet in this case, I now calculate the gravity that's being applied to the rocket, and I put the reverse of that onto the planet. And then, if there's any additional energy, like slamming into the planet, we can actually do that and speed up time, and we see the effect that has. This is really nice. One issue I'm facing is in a scene like this, where we're orbiting the planet, you can see that the rocket is leaving the origin because we're orbiting here. Speed this up and that's just gonna go away. But I have this feature where I invert the force. And now it looks the same, but the origin stays on the rocket. It's because I'm inverting all the force relative to the rocket. Like in the perspective of the rocket, nothing is different. But this does not play nicely with my new resting on the planet gravity. What do you call it? Gravity impact calculator. So now we're sitting on the planet here. Let's align to gravity. And now let's recenter origin. You can see it's leaving now. It should not be doing that. But like, because you see if I'm not touching it, it's perfectly centered. But then as soon as I impact, I could even reset origin, it's gonna leave again. It's because I'm applying the force to... Yeah, this is the part that's really tricky because I'm applying the force to the planet to invert, to not make this gravity apply through to the planet. But now that I'm inverting it, that force should be applied in a different way. I don't know. Let me see if I can figure it out. Oh my god, I just figured it out. So previously I was applying the negative force to keep the origin at the active shape, like that the camera is focused on. But I just changed this to a velocity-based one, and I put it after we step in the space. So, and then we just cancel all the velocity, like we don't care about the forces, because it's all gonna cancel out, so we don't need to worry about stuff going through each other, because it's all gonna balance out, like I said. So, look at this beautiful scenario. So we're orbiting here. Origin is set on the rocket. Like I can change the active shape. I can move around here. And now I'm applying thrust to land. Let's rotate to gravity. And you see the origin. It stays with the rocket even as I'm thrusting. Because when I'm thrusting here, it's actually just applying, it's changing the velocity of the planet. But in the perspective of the rocket, it doesn't know. And then just land here. You can see, oh god, I had some side velocity. It's hard to see the surface speed. Okay, here we go. And I can reset the origin, clicking T there. And then speed up time. It stays perfectly still. You can see in the perspective of the planet, speed up time. All good. It's just rotating a bit. Yeah, this is so cool. The origin stays there. Because before I had the velocity before, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. But it's because I should, of course, change the velocity after it's done the stepping. It makes sense. I'm really glad I figured it out, because this is the issue I had. So I land here, everything looks good. I reset the origin, but then we speed up time, it's drifting. But it's like it was drifting at a constant speed, which is kind of a sign. But yeah, get rid of that stuff. So now we have this really nice, just relative velocity change. And we can apply forces in any way we want prior to that. Beautiful. This is so good.